Hello, Eurovision fans. This is that Eurovision site, and we're back at it again for the national final season of 2025. My name is Euan, my pronouns are he, him, and joining me today is the lovely Kittens. Say hi, Kittens.
Hello. Hi, I'm Kittens. Pronouns she, her.
And we're going to be discussing Lithuania. So, Eurovizija.LT is back again for another year for 2025. We currently don't actually have the songs. We have a few, but we don't really think it's fair to discuss, say, like four songs in when there are 45 competing entries this year. So we're going to really be discussing the names of the artists and sort of like the structure of the show itself. So, Kittens, what do you think about a national final of 45 people?
Right. I have always honestly thought that 45 is too many. Honestly, 45 is just I it, this is outside of San Marino and San Marino audition hell. This is our biggest national final out of everybody this year so far that have been
I
announced.
think Moldova may have slightly more.
Does it? I thought it
Small little
only
bit.
had. I'll have to have a look at the spreadsheet, but
Oh.
it's still we are looking at a structured program with 5 weeks.
Yep.
Five
Five
weeks
semi-finals and a final.
to get two songs out of each heat. I have opinions.
Unfortunately, you're in the right place to share them.
I honestly feel that this, as much as I want this to be a celebration of Lithuanian music and the celebration of the Lithuanian music industry and a good platform for artists to show themselves on national television, 45 is too many and this process is too long.
Can I just point out, though, Kittens, this process is the exact same length as Melodifestivalen.
Yes, but with fewer songs.
There's not that many fewer, really,
There
in the
is
grand scheme of things.
15 fewer songs in Melodifestivalen.
And how many of them will be listenable in comparison to Lithuania?
I look, don't get me started on the listenability of Lithuania, and that was a tongue twister on my end.
Right, so personally, I'm of the opinion more national finals should have more songs. Why are we only getting seven at UMK? There are so many national finals that have the quality and like the
See,
ability to
me
produce
and
some
Ewan are
great songs.
very different ends of the spectrum on this one because I am very pro one shot finals, and Ewan
I
is
think
like,
one
make it
shot
7 years.
honest, right, back in the olden days of Lithuania, 2014, 2015, where it was at its peak. Completely different selection format, and it lasted for like 12 weeks. That was peak. That was epic. Same when back in Slovenia in 2012, Mizera Eurovizija. Amazing. I don't think I strongly reject this. Everything needs to be shortened as possible because this having so many songs and so many acts means you do get newcomers that probably wouldn't make it to a one show semi-final of like 10 people because the broadcaster wouldn't select them. They pick the same people over and over again, and they pick the same people to do middle of the road. You're getting lots of wildly different things that you're never going to expect. Now, the structure itself, I don't think a five semi-finals and a final works for 45 songs. I think there should be a third round, an audition style one, where you are massively cutting it down and then having one or two semi-finals and a final. Because I feel like if you're having a multi-stage format like this, there should be a degree of separation between the semi-finals and the final, and it should be like ramped up, which they did last year. The performances in the final were so much better than they were in the semi-final, but some of them were going into the semi-final with a concept, the stage show ready to go, and some of them were just like, "Hey, I'm here,"
I certainly
and
exist. I have
I
turned
don't
up and I've stepped on the stage, and that is certainly enough.
I feel
I
like there should be an audition stage. for all of these to match. 45 is the right amount, but there should be an audition stage like with Moldova where they can just park, no special, no specialty, just this is the song. And then
I
we get
kind
those
of
in the
would
semi-final.
support this. I think that a lot of what comes out of Eurovision, probably some of it shouldn't. So I I am, as much as I am pro like getting smaller artists up on that stage and, in front of a national audience, I do think that there is a thin line between that and just putting anybody up there. And I think it's like the San Marino problem to a certain extent. You have all these artists who want to represent your country, so you're going to platform all of them or a good chunk of them. Obviously, like, not everybody who applies gets in. Um, but it just feels to me like you're not kind of selecting the best of the best. At this point, you're just saying, right, everybody can perform and we'll just see what happens. I
In a way,
also
you
don't
are
think
democratizing it, though.
I also don't think two coming from each semi-final feels very fair. Two out of nine
Yeah,
feels like
that
a very
I that
small proportion.
I disagree. I get they wanted to have less going through to just like the ones going through are going to be actually within a chance of winning. But I feel you are missing a few.
I mean,
That's a
even
technical
I'm
stuff.
not
Yeah.
saying bring Eurovision down to like 12 acts and there'll be two semi-finals of 6 acts and like three go through from each. That's not what I'm advocating. I'm just talking about slimming it down a little bit. Like, 30 to 35 acts and maybe doing 4 shows or doing your plan of doing audition rounds and then 2 semis or something would slim it down in just a nice way that you've got a good enough spread of artists and a good enough spread of genres and types and all of that kind of stuff. But 45 feels like fatigue to me,
Hmm.
personally.
See, I
Um,
feel with that 45, you tend to do get a wide array of musical styles and musical styles that are getting into the final as well. And also, you're getting an array of songwriters and national songwriters as well, rather than just like a 15 song selection where they're all half of them are going to be written by Swedes. Or
but
you're going to have
equally,
25% of a national final written by one specific Swedish man, Koff Melodifestivalen.
you could put that into your rules. You could say, right, only one submission by each songwriter, or only, it's got to be this way or it's got to be that way. You could just be tighter on your rules or your qualification criteria. You don't have to, like, you don't have to just be like, well, these 6 are the best songs. We're just going to pick between the 6 songs. And I do think there is definitely a space for you should be platforming local artists from Lithuania on at least national television, and obviously in a lot of people's cases, kind of international television. A lot of people's first chance to kind of perform to an audience which realistically people know now is out of their country. You know, um, I don't know. For me it's a lot. And I don't know if I'll be able to follow the whole thing this year. It's going to be a bit of a struggle to do so. Um but and the other thing is I think like I don't know. I don't always feel like I get on with Lithuania. I did last year. I really did last year. They were like my second last year. But I don't always feel like I get on with Lithuania. I feel like the quality is sometimes very variable. So I think that combating that at source would be helpful.
I get that, but the songs that you're saying variable quality, they are aggressively Lithuanian. All of the entries of the last 10 years feel like they are for Lithuania. Yes, some of them have been written by international writers, but they've still like collaborated well. And I
I'm
feel
not necessarily talking about the winners. I'm talking about the like the Lithuanian finals and stuff more. if you know what I mean.
I can understand that. Um, let's hope that the final is just as chaotic this year as it was last year with the 15-minute mango uh, interval act again. Um,
Why not?
so we don't have the songs. There's a few out, but like I said, it doesn't really make sense to talk about like four songs when there's 45. So of the list of acts, is there any that particularly like stood out to you as, oh my God?
I mean, I don't know a lot of these artists. I know some of these artists. I know Queens of Roses because I remember stupid songs about washing machines. I know Gibrasi, is that how you say it? Have I
Mhm.
said that right? Excellent. I know Eva Zasmaske. I've definitely not said that right.
Let's try that again.
No, I'm not sure. You say it for me.
Jeva Zazimowskaite.
Thank you. I know
But
her.
surely you also remember Vilja Matujunaite.
Do I?
Kittens 2014, 2014.
Oh yeah, I was sleeping through 2014 actually.
So you've forgotten the tutu.
I've no idea what you're talking about.
Kittens, it's a U-coded song, and there's a man putting his hand through her tutu.
No, I don't remember that at all. I
How?
must have slept through that. I don't know. I don't know how I've slept through that, but clearly I've slept through that. I Joseph June rings a bell. Why do I know that guy? I definitely he
You've
did a
definitely
very
like
me coded song a few years ago,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's still in my playlist. I remember that one. So I know some of these artists, and there's probably a few other artists who I probably know, but I don't know I know because I'm very good at forgetting artist names.
Well, for me personally, like yeah, there's Jeva Zazimowskaite and Vilja who were well, Jeva was my winner and Vilja was my third place. So massively excited to see them again. But you also have my winner of 2023, Mario Yunus. Banger, you'll hate it, kittens. You'll detest it. But there's some names that are just like so excited to see, like Petunia. Her ballads are amazing. You yeah, you've got Queen Roses who are always fun, but you've got San Francisco. I could literally list like half of this thing. This is probably the most excited I've been for a Lithuanian NF
The
in
day that
years.
this, the day that the artist list came out, and you had this and um Vidbear's list come out on the same day, and you were sick as hell, but you were just like screaming into the Discord, going, "Oh my God!"
Like I kind of thought one of the lists must be fake because these are so me coded, and especially because I'm so excited about this list because last year Eurovizija.LT was the worst Lithuanian national final I have ever seen. It wasn't good. There was only a handful of good songs. So the fact that they're coming back with something amazing and something amazing with so many Lithuanian songs, because I think this is the most they've had in it's definitely the most since I've started listening to it. So the fact that there has really definitely been this effect from Luke Telk
I was
and
going
Luke
to
Telk
say a
doing
Luke Telk
decent.
effect.
So yeah, the fact that we're actually getting Lithuanian songs. Oh my God. Because
This is basically right. This is time for you to go on your fanboy, your Lithuanian fanboy rant. I think you should do it. Just go for it.
well, Lithuania is even worse than Sweden when it comes to like showcasing their own language in Eurovision. Yeah, you had Monica Liu, but I mean that's because 2022 wasn't really that strong a year. Like there was only a handful of songs there, but like the fact that we're actually having Lithuanian, they're encouraging it. They're wanting to see Lithuanian songs in there. This is all that I wanted from Lithuania. We, oh, the fact that we could have another Lithuanian song win in a row. And they're still their longest ever qualification streak. They're not doing amazing. They're not in their top 10. The fact that they're there in the final getting middle of the road results, like that's a win for them. Not
Yeah,
every country needs to just win or come top five. Some, a lot of countries getting to the final. is a
Yeah,
victory in itself. So yeah, I'm extremely excited about what Lithuania are doing this year, and yeah, probably the most excited I've been for national final in a long time.
yeah, you that I just remember that day of you just like losing your mind. It was just like,
It's
what?
because I was going through the list like, oh my god, Davis back. Oh my god, it's Mauro Eunice. Oh my god, it's Caro. Oh my god, and just keep going down like, oh my god, Matis Liega was a random one, but I liked his song the last time that he was in. It's like, oh my god. Yeah.
Like I'm the thing is, like, I am hoping that the Luke Telk effect extends to a lot of these songs being bangers.
Hmm.
I
Right. See,
am
I don't necessarily need them to be bangers, but Lithuania is amazing for electronic music, but
exactly,
not
this is the
necessarily like
thing.
banger electronic music, just
But
in
yeah,
general. But they
vibey.
don't, it doesn't showcase it at all. You had um like Mangela and L'École Machina, which were great songs and the sort of low-key uh electronica, but there's not really much in there. And hopefully you get the Luke Telks, but you also get the low-key stuff.
I mean, Luke Telk is like quite low key anyway. That's the thing about it.
But
Like
you could call it a banger. I'm
it's catchy, but it is very low key. And it's like it's not like as in your face as a lot of other bangers. But for me it was like it I didn't get tired of it. Like I was expecting to get really tired of it by the end of the season because it's quite repetitive, and I didn't. And it always felt like quite fresh to me. Um and I think as a structure of a song and as a structure of a performance, it brought something for me for Lithuania that I hadn't seen in a long time. Um, my history with Lithuania is complicated, I think is probably the best way to put it. Like I've not always had a great, time with what Lithuania have brought up. Um, and in a lot of ways I shouldn't. I shouldn't be the marker of whether a country's good. Um, but equally, I am I am hoping that there is a little bit more confidence, a little bit more sass from them, a little bit more, well, we can do this in Lithuanian and have an impact and screw you all kind of thing. Just a little bit more attitude, if you know what I mean.
It needs to insist upon itself.
Just the confidence to just go out there and go, actually, we're going to do what we want. Thank
Mm.
you.
And I think having a string of qualifications, because they it was very much qualify, not qualify, like struggling to get through like more than a few. So the fact that they've now got this, they can relax a bit because they know the quality's there. Because their stagings in the last year when they've got to Eurovision have been fantastic.
Even when they have been budget stagings,
Yeah, like
Monica, you.
2023 was not exactly. I mean, they probably spent a lot on those dresses, and I still think they should have chosen the jellyfish dress rather than the salmon. But look, it was a great staging. They made it work well. So
Sometimes you don't need a massive budget to make
mhm.
an impact, and that is all I need to say on that. You
Yeah,
just
because
need
like
style.
compare and contrast 2019 to 2023, where they're both stripped back, but they're done in such a better way in Liverpool than it was in Tel
I
Aviv.
hated 2019 so much.
Yeah, we get it. You're wrong. Um, but like I'm probably the worst in a way the worst person to have on this discussing it because like
And I
Lithuania is
think
my favorite country. So
we're probably balancing each other out because this is for me like a country which does not generally make a lot of impact. As much as I liked shooter tutoring and everything, they've never been high up on my list until last year.
while for me they've been in my top three consistently since 2013.
So I think we're good balance.
Because in a way I was kind of hoping like oh, hopefully it's like actually like a bad national final because I'm getting sick of having to support Lithuania. But no, probably going to be
Are
top
you
three
just
again.
sitting there going, "Oh, the yellow does nothing for my complexion, darling"?
Well, it does make it easier to sport because I don't need to keep buying the same buying more outfits. That's why I support Lithuania and Azerbaijan. They're just there to stand countries, so I don't have to buy new outfits.
Yeah, I mean, Lithuania, if you could be really good this year, because I've already got a flag from last year, so they just mean I don't need to get a new one.
I've got quite a few flags if you need to if you need to borrow some Lithuanian ones.
I
Yeah,
think I've only got
I'm
about four so far, but the stack is building. I'll get like Tim in no time.
but yeah. Right. We based on literally nothing, who do you think's gonna win?
Um, um, based on literally nothing, let me. I don't know. I don't know half of these artists. I'm gonna throw my weight behind randomly. Uh, let's have another low-key banger from Joseph June.
See, I'm thinking the exact same for Mario Eunice because he should have won in 2023 and his song was amazing. So hopefully he gets what he deserves, which is Vilnius hosting next year.
But I would also like to see just something to absolutely blindside me and come out of nowhere from Lithuania because that's what happened last year, and I would love that to happen again.
I mean, in a way, that's always what happens with Lithuania because things always come out of nowhere. You can never expect it. Like last year was also the first time they had the super final, and without that super final, Shower would have won. And I love Shower. I know most people hate it, but I would find it so hilarious if that's after all of the narrative from that first semi-final when Luke Telk was performed. And it's like, yeah, this is winning for Lithuania. And so Shower just come out of nowhere and just like, yeah, okay. It would just be so aggressively a Lithuanian result because it's happened so many times. It happened in 2017. Um, Sadly with some terrible results. But yeah, it always happens. So I'm excited for just one of the ones that I've never heard of to just be my absolute favorite this year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now we've
I yeah, if somebody's gonna platform smaller artists, then let's go. Let's see find the next big whatever. Let's do this.
Now we've probably rattled on for Lithuania a fair bit, so we will also be doing another one of these videos after we have all the songs and before the semi-final, and then we of course will be discussing like all national finals after the fact. So you could if you're listening to this fairly late on, maybe click on the next video and see what absolutely ridiculous predictions we've made. Did Joseph Jones actually have a good song, or was Kittens massively disappointed? Follow us on YouTube for more of these things, and don't forget to also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Tumblr, Blue Sky, and
TikTok.
TikTok as well. And that you follow that Eurovision podcast and all your favorite streaming sites where we'll be keeping update with national finals and as well going to pre-parties and Eurovision itself. Thank you so much for joining me, kittens. And thank you all so much for actually listening today. I hope you have a lovely day and have a fantastic national final season. Bye.
Bye.